On the front line of the war with Boko Haram are thousands of soldiers stationed far from home. They bear the brunt of ongoing violence from jihadists. In recent weeks, the Nigerian army is optimistic that it had dislodged Boko Haram from its stronghold of Borno.
We have handled the Boko Haram that affects Nigeria. The Boko Haram will never come back again as a Boko Haram.
Roots TV was invited to war-torn northeast Nigeria.
Boko Haram. If you're a Muslim, you are a target. If you're a Christian, you are a target. They slaughter people like animals.
Today we are in a state where there is no local government. There is no any local authority where Boko Haram will say they hold sway to. From 2015 against pre-2015, you will understand that much was achieved and a lot more will be achieved, and there is hope.
We journeyed with the troops from Maiduguri to Dikwa, the north of Borno State. Dikwa shares a boundary with Chad and hosts over 70,000 internally displaced people. Dikwa covers 1,774 kilometers and has a population of 25,300 inhabitants, according to the 2010 Africa Police dataset. The trip takes about 3 hours. Along the way, we see villages with remnants of buildings brought down to rubble. A testimony of ongoing battles with the jihadist group. Security is high with checkpoints every few meters.
This is the boundary separating men of the Nigerian army and the Boko Haram insurgents. We are in Dikwa, Borno State, northeast Nigeria, and these men are on ground to ensure that there is adequate security and these insurgents do not have any opportunity to attack or displace indigents of their lives and of their properties.
According to troops, they have secured the area. However, it appears there are no-go areas. It is an ongoing battle to this civilian joint task force member as he explains the efforts put in place to guarantee security.
Sun mana kokari, sun kula da mu, kuma in abu ya faru za su fita su je su yi mana aiki, mu ma mun tafi za mu musu taimako ne.
A local government chairman in Borno State appealed to the army to dislodge roadblocks mounted at some areas in Borno. He believes that if this is done, it will help aid the efforts of troops at getting information and defeating the insurgents.
Gamborungala road up to Maiduguri up to Gamborungala. Generally, this road is closed for over 5 to 6 years now. By opening the road, you may even have more source of information. Whenever they are crossing or whenever they are sighted, will not hesitate to report to you people.
Soldiers share their thoughts on the war against insurgency. They talk about the battles, saying they have launched successful operations, but they hope that it could soon be concluded and they return to their homes.
The operation is going well. All we need is like for our prayers for our families and also the Nigeria and all these other soldiers that they are not up to here. We wish them successful. When they come, they do their own. They will go back successfully.
We have been fighting them, and God has given us the power to counter them.
My message for them is that they should continue praying for us, that God should continue giving us the power and the strength to fight them. My wife, my daughter, my son, they have been praying for their dad so that the fight will be over and then I will come back and join them.
Are we good to go? Good to go, good to go, good to go, sir. Are we motivated? Motivated, sir.
Bama is south of Maiduguri and shares border with Cameroon. Devastated by the war, it is still under 24/7 security with military checkpoints. In some parts of Bama, there are communities slowly picking up the pieces of their lives after the devastation, but most stay in IDP camps. The sight of houses ravaged by insurgents bring lingering memories of lives and properties destroyed. Villages have become a shadow of what they used to be. Deserted, houses and business centers shattered by bullets, masts destroyed, fueling stations also not spared. At Banki Town, we met the troops of the 151 Task Force Battalion, referred to as the gatekeepers of Sambisa.
Into the gate.
The forest is where some of the Chibok girls were found and considered a shelter for Boko Haram. Insurgents moved into the area in 2013 and until today is heavily patrolled by the Nigerian army. The forest borders Cameroon and it's believed that the remnants of the terrorist group still occupy parts of the forest.
Welcome to Bama. It is over 100 kilometers away from Maiduguri, the capital of Borno State. Bama used to be a stronghold of Boko Haram, but the presence of troops here is a testimonial to the fact that the war against terror is being won and they are committed to bringing peace and tranquility to Nigeria.
Banki Town in Bama used to be a trading area, but now it has a different story. It has no residents. It would be a ghost town if it weren't for troops. Bama was recaptured from insurgents in 2015. Here, Major General Enobong Udo, representing Chief of Army Staff, urged soldiers to remain focused until peace is restored.
Continue to sustain the tempo. Continue to maintain and conduct your clearance operations so that you can finally flush out all the remnants of these insurgents from our territory.
According to the army, Boko Haram launched an attack to capture Bama in 2018, but the attack was foiled. We journeyed kilometers with the army and arrived Sambisa Forest, the hideout of Boko Haram. Once it was a game reserve, now it is considered to be the center of terror. Apart from the remaining Chibok girls, it's believed that the last remaining Dapchi school girl, Leah Sharibu, is still being held hostage since she was captured in February 2018.
Welcome to the infamous Sambisa Forest, Borno State, northeast Nigeria. It was named after Lieutenant Colonel Mohammed Abu Ali. It is now a shooting range and a training ground for officers of the Nigerian Army. The presence of this army here indicates that progress has been made in the fight against terrorism and there are still other counter-insurgency operations ongoing. The army has expressed commitment that they will ensure they tackle all insecurity that has ravaged these parts of the country.
According to the United Nations High Commission for Refugees, Boko Haram insurgency has displaced 2 million people. There are 239,000 Nigerian refugees, 531,000 internally displaced in Cameroon, Chad, and Niger. Boko Haram began in 2009 when the jihadist group started an armed rebellion. Despite the progress made to destroy the terror group, it seems the only way to prove that the war has been won is rebuilding the northeast. Perhaps affected people can have a sense of belonging, return to their towns and villages with the hope to live a normal life without nightmare of violence.